This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the cartoon Cybersix. Joel.
Yes, Andrew.
Up top, this is not the cartoon I thought it was.
What cartoon did you think it was?
I thought it's literally another cartoon with the word 6 in its title. It's called Bionic 6.
Okay.
And I was like, so when I typed in Cybersix, this I had to have mentioned it. Because as soon as the episode, we must have mentioned Cybersix at some point, because it's like the day after. Because I remember saying something with the word 6. Alexander Hernandez goes through the website and requests an episode, and he said, "Please do an episode on Cybersix, great short-lived cartoon."
Mm-hmm.
And the rest is history. Well, it will be history when we press stop on record.
Once this airs.
Yeah. But before we get into that, let's review that theme song.
Let's hit it.
There's a time when the moon reveals its face through the clouds. I let out a sigh and want to cry out loud. But deep in my heart, I feel love so alive. In the depths of my soul, I know we will survive. And the world
You know, all those animes that the intro, you're like, this intro just does not fit the feel of the anime.
Oh, really? I thought this fit. I thought this
I
fit.
don't know.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. I wanna save this for later, but there's a reason I think that theme song fits very well, and it's how I kind of describe this show.
Okay.
But it's very Sailor Moon.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got of it, because this isn't an anime, but it is heavily anime and inspired. That's right.
Big time. Okay, so I guess I could see that. It's just, I watch so much anime.
Right.
And there were times where I'm just like, maybe it's the beat of it, but I'm just like, this theme song, because, they would just get like whoever the current like band, the hot band is.
Absolutely.
And they would just throw music in it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Not saying that this is a bad song. It's a very beautiful song, but I was not expecting this slow melody.
Yeah, no.
For something like this.
Also, I would say that the show itself has it's a very romantic song. And the show itself has a lot of romance, so to speak. And so, like, I kind of get the vibe. It's almost like an action romance cartoon. It's an action drama, so to speak. So I feel like in that regard, it really helps. The theme song helps you. It helps you get into the, like, what you don't know what you're getting into until you watch the first episode, and then you're like, okay, this theme song makes sense. But just going in cold, when you go in cold, you're like, what the hell am I about to watch? But yeah, no, I'm starting to see your side of the camp.
Yeah,
but like once you watch it, I feel like it kind of like you're like, oh, okay, this does match what they're trying to go for. Plus, it's not a bad song.
No. But like you said, it's just you go into the first episode, you just get hit with this, and
Yeah.
you're like, what the? Like, I'm seeing like a Batman-esque figure
Mhm.
fighting dudes. What the hell is this theme song got
Yeah.
to do
What?
with,
Yeah. What is the?
with
Yeah.
this story? But it makes sense,
Yeah.
like you said.
Once you
Once you
wa-
get
once
into
you
the
watch
story, you're like, okay,
Oh, okay.
I kind of get it now.
So
Um,
I give it about an 8. I'd give it about an 8.
I was just going to give it a 6.
A 6? Really? That
Yep,
low?
that's it.
I really
That-
dug it.
It's
I
it's
did.
a beautiful song, but I don't know. I just
Are you
for some
also
reason,
grading it on how left field it seems at first? I feel like that's
Maybe.
a factor for you.
It probably is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Which is
I'm
fair.
Just, I'm
That is
not-
fair.
It's one of those things. I love it as a song itself, as an intro to a cartoon. I'm not digging it for an intro of a cartoon.
Yeah. I feel
So
ya.
I'm giving it a 6. It was sung by Carol Egan.
Okay.
So she got a pretty voice.
Any
mean, hey,
other
she
notable
did
songs
great.
by her?
No.
Oh. Well, okay then. Well, Joel, how did this get made?
Andrew, this Cybersix cartoon is a Canadian, Japanese, Argentina, and animation cartoon.
What a
it's
combo.
a mouthful. What a combo. It originally aired September 6th, 1999, ran for 13 episodes, one short season, ended October 23rd of the same year. It was created by Carlos Meglia and Carlos Trillo.
Two Carloses.
Now, two Carloses. Now, this is actually based off of a comic.
Yeah, I saw that. Never
Yeah,
heard
so-
of this in my life.
Me neither. And the reason why, it was an Argentina comic that ran in Argentina and Italy through the Italy on weekly comic called Scorpio.
Okay.
And this is a very adult theme comic.
Yeah, I learned that the animated series is heavily censored.
Oh, it is. Tell you what, Andrew, I am going to show you the image of Scorpio magazine on Wikipedia, just so you can see how adult that is.
Oh yeah. She got her boobles
basically a naked, tribal woman on the cover. Or I guess, no, like a naked Native American woman.
Yeah.
Boobies just hanging out for all to see.
Hey, that's the world I want to live in. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Okay.
So the comic, guess who made the comic, Andrew? Carlos Trillo
Okay.
and Carlos Maglia.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, so and I kind of like that. So the creators of the comic actually were the creators behind
That's
the animated.
That's kind of like what our friends with the Justice Warriors book. That's what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to
Exactly.
get a series going.
Yeah.
Check out our
the
episode now.
The comic was apparently pretty huge in Argentina. It ran from May 1991 to July 1994 through the Scorpio
Okay.
magazine. And then it was followed up by a 96 page comic book series
Okay. Cool.
that ran from 1994 all the way up to 1999.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And really, basically what happened is when the comic wrapped up its story, they went into production for the cartoon.
Oh, like straight up. That's really neat.
Straight up.
I know that there's no official American translation of Cybersix, but there are fan translations that you can find on various forums. So if you are interested in Cybersix and don't know, what do they speak in Argentina? Is it Spanish or is it Portuguese?
I want to say Argentina is probably mostly Spanish.
Okay.
I know Portuguese, I think, that's Brazil?
Yeah, that's Brazil and Portugal.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, neat. So there you go.
But
I don't know what form. I didn't look into it.
But I thought that was pretty interesting. Really, the companies that were behind this was a Vancouver-based network of animation and TMS Entertainment out of Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the comic itself, it reminded, because I actually looked up some of the comic strips, some of the comic pages and stuff like that. To me, it just has that really like heavy Sin City kind of feel.
Okay, I could see
it.
There were a few comics that I thought it really kind of borrowed from, not borrowed, but definitely like it looked like Spawn was a big one for me.
Yeah,
I think it's mainly her cape.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah,
yeah.
But I would kind of just put it up there with all those really more mature comics.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was coming out in the late 90s.
The female lead, too. That's pretty rare. Female lead, not super sexualized. Extremely rare.
In the comics, she is.
Oh, okay. Well, in the cartoon, she's not. I didn't get to read any of the comic, but the show, it seemed like she was pretty all right.
In the comic, people are getting boned. She getting boned. Those titties everywhere.
Slay queen.
It is. It is basically borderline Hittite at that point.
Because it was made in Argentina, is it still called anime? Because Argentina starts with an A.
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay. Well, I tried.
I don't know. They're all. I feel like that's always the conversation between people is there really a difference between calling like cartoons and anime?
Not if you got a lot going on not if you have a lot going on for you in your life. Like if you're a winner, it doesn't matter. And I'm not saying that to be incredibly mean, but it is true that the people who are very in the like gatekeeping camps of it's anime and cartoons are different, you're a fucking loser. Your life is very close to being meaningless in a way.
Oh boy.
And you gotta make some changes. You gotta really get out there, like touch this, like look at be in some sunlight for a change. And yeah,
I've had to break myself of being like that. So now I guess I would call it Argentina anime.
I mean, if it was made, anime is if it's made in Japan. That's literally it to me. But I mean, even then, if you're like, Japanese cartoons. If somebody says Japanese cartoons and you flip the fuck out and say it's anime, you've got a few more wrong turns in life before you're either a shut-in or a corpse. So you need to start reading this. This is a wake-up call from your pal Andrew at Cartoon Dumpster Dive. I'm a father now, so I care about a lot of people's trajectory. You gotta start making some right turns. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy.
Because if you do not, you are $50 away from getting a waifu body pillow.
Is that what you want in life?
Do you want to be that guy?
Do you want to be that guy who smells bad with a waifu? Do you want to be that guy who says it's not weird because she's 500 years old and a dragon? Do you want to be a guy who's like into the animes that are just like they're fine right up until they're like, I want to have sex with my sister, and you're just like, what the fuck? And like, because that's been happening a lot in anime too. But we're not here to talk about this weird subgenres that we keep getting in anime. We're here to talk about Cybersix.
But that's it, Andrew. If you want to hit us with the voice cast, go for it.
All right. So the voice cast of Cybersix is Kathy Westlook, is Adrian Settleman in Cybersix. Michael Dobson is Lucas Amato. Alex Deduk is Jose. Jocelyn Jod is Elaine and Griselda and Lori. Andrew Francis is Julian. Terry Klassen is Von Richter. Brian Drummond is Yoshimito. Chantal Strand is Akiko. And Lee Harvey Gold is Tara.
Lee Harvey Oswald?
Close. So, for their other works, we have Kathy Westlook is Spike in My Little Pony. So, speaking of people whose lives are not on the right track, bronies.
Don't be a brony.
Michael Dobson is Blob in X-Men Evolution. That should be something we cover soon.
We should.
Alex Deduk is Yuko in Brian Powered. Jocelyn Jod is Pinkie Pie in My Little Pony, Pinkie Pie's Party. That's the old My Little Ponies.
Is it?
Yeah, it was the old ones. Andrew Francis is Jeb in Tin Man.
Jeb.
Terry Klassen is Mole Man in The Vision of Escaflowne.
Escaflowne. Talk about a theme song.
Maybe we can cover that in May when we do Anime Month. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, so that's definitely something that we're covering because I've never seen Joel do the fat woman who saw chocolate after a diet face before. So, you know the face if you've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Brian Drummond is Riku in Death Note, or Rook. Ruyuk.
Riku to me.
Chantal Strand is Bernard in Sabrina, the animated series. And finally, Lee Harvey Gold was the new
JFK.
The new Frontier Man editor in Watchmen. He was also a high roller in Rat Race.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love that movie, Rat Race.
So, okay. This is the plot of Cybersix. And I have to say, I fucking digged this little series we covered this week.
It's been it's actually a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, very much so. So our hero, Cybersix, is a genoid, which is a type of android that I didn't know was a thing. But named Cybersix, who protects the town of Madrina at night, where she fights the machinations of the scientist, Dr. Von Richter, who is also her creator. Also, the real main villain of this show, though, is Jose, his clone son, who has these, like, Frankenstein henchmen that are just dumb, strong goons. You also have her friend, Lucas Amato, who's a biology teacher at a high school, where her alter Ego is there, who is a poetry teacher.
Her alter ego, she disguises herself
As a man, Adrian Settleman. So she pulls a Mulan.
Yep.
So let me just say this. This show you will love this show if you are. You'll love this show a lot if you're one thing. You'll love this show a lot if you're both of these things.
Okay.
If you are goth, you will love this show. You will love this show even more if you are goth and you are gay.
Okay.
I absolutely, with 100% confidence, if you are in the LGBT community and also a goth, and I have a kind of gothic personality, this show is for you.
Why do you say that, Andrew?
Look at it. Did you not watch this thing?
I did.
This is in the most positive way saying this. This is the gayest show we've ever covered. But in a good way, and that way I think I'm safe. So, but it is. What it is. I love every minute of this show.
Let's forget about all the other 150 gay cartoons we watched in a bad way.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
But no, what I'm saying is like there's a lot of themes here, especially now that I feel like that if you were a part of those groups, you like for instance, she's kind of really she's a robot, so she doesn't have a gender, so to speak, which kind of goes into this theme of like she's more gender neutral in the fact that her alter ego is a man, but when she's fighting crime, she's a woman.
Well, because the big story is her trying to find out her humanity.
Trying to find her humanity and freeing herself from like the green goo she needs to sustain her.
Yeah.
There's another plot point that they don't get to till like a halfway through. You're like, oh, she needs that green goo. Which, by the way, in the comics, she fucking sucked out like a vampire. In this one, she just kind of like
drinks it.
Absorbs them. But yeah.
Okay. See, I took it more as she was just using the disguise of being a man to just hide in plain sight more. I mean, not really like any kind of way about it.
If you were an android, wouldn't you want to kind of, I mean, just because you have a female figure, wouldn't you want to try to like figure out what both sides are like?
I guess, yeah.
Because that's how I kind of saw it. She's like, you know, during the day, she like tries to do man stuff. Because she has a love interest, Lucas. I feel like Lucas reminds me of that episode of Futurama where the Bender and Fry join the army. And and Leela can't join because she's a woman. But so she disguises herself as a man, and then Zap Brannigan keeps getting attracted to like man Leela, and he's just like, that lemon fills me with emotions of pride and some other feelings that are weird and confusing, and then it turns out it's Leela, and he goes, oh God,
So what you're saying, Andrew, is non-binary people are just androids trying to figure out what both sides
Honestly,
are like.
I know some non-binary people, and they would probably fuck with that analogy a little bit. I'm just saying. Like, I don't have this whole gender science thing figured out, but I think what you just said was pretty goddamn close.
So you're saying androids.
So a cis white man figured out gender science once again. Strike another W on the board for the boys back home.
Is that why they call it binary code, Andrew? Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Such a lame joke.
Yeah. So also, actually, the weirdest thing in this entire series for me has nothing to do with Cybersix or Lucas or any of those other plot points. It has a lot to do with Data 7. The Panther character that is also Cybersix's brother.
Yeah.
And the only reason, so they don't really mention, it's in the second episode. They don't mention again that he's her brother. He just acts like a big cat, but he also like licks her. And I feel like if you were watching it by the week, you would forget that Data 7 is her brother.
Yeah.
And that is, I don't know, for some reason I was like, that's your brother. And she pets him like a cat and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't know, if I was trapped in a panther's potty, I don't think I would want people petting me like I was a pet. So but maybe that's just me.
So we're entering
Much less
into
my
that
sibling.
realm, that realm of a sibling love anime, is what you're saying.
I don't think so. At least I hope not, since one of them is an animal.
See, I took it because I took it just as, you know, since she's a genoid, basically all of Dr. Von Richtner's creations are family. You know how they do that.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess that's like if you're an animal, that's how you show it. I mean, when my dogs lick me, I don't think they want to, you know, do stuff to me. So
this episode's going,
I know,
very, very sideways,
very sideways, very fast. It's an anime episode, so to speak. What'd you expect?
Yep. So the style of this anime reminded me so much. I want to see if you agreed with this, with Aeon Flux.
Absolutely. If Aeon Flux and Tintin had a baby, because they look like especially Cybersix, she looks like a Tintin character, fell into a giant vat of goth leather. Goth leather. It's just a giant vat that says goth. Like if they did the opposite of, like, instead of Joker falling into acid, like Bruce Wayne fell into goth, and that's why he's Batman. That's the same thing.
So they basically just fell into a Hot Topic.
Yeah, giant Hot Topic vat. But yeah, absolutely. I love Jose, the kind of secondary antagonist. He's such a little shit.
He is.
And like it's just this, and also kind of like the animation style kind of reminded me a lot of Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh, okay, yeah,
just with better background design. Because I remember the background design of Jackie Chan Adventures was fucking appalling.
Oh
on
yeah,
a rewatch.
It was terrible.
But
this one
has really good. And the fight scenes are good too. I thought the fight scenes were, you know, the fucking Frankenstein guys have a lot of weight to them. Like, so in Cybersix, even though she's a cyborg or gynoid or whatever, like she's able to hit them hard, but like they still got like some weight to them and they can tank a lot of her hits because they're also super strong.
And I know the reason why the animation in this cartoon was so good, because it really was. Like, it honestly, for what, 1999, it's pretty damn fantastic.
Yeah.
Each episode had a production budget of $360,000.
Yeah. It shows. It shows a lot.
That is ridiculous for I now know why it only lasted 13 episodes.
There was a lot that actually happened with why this series got canceled. So one thing, NOA and TMS, they had a lot of conflict during the production of this series. And then, so it was expensive. The conflict between the studios, and nobody really watched it. And I think they were really hoping that a push to the States, because this thing ended up on Fox Kids in the United States. It was in Telefe for our friends in Argentina, and then it was on Kin Station in Japan. Now, those numbers, Japan and Argentina, those numbers were probably fine. But if you really want something like this to be successful, you need to get the kids in the States to do it. You need those. You need those fat ass round American kids in front of your screen so they can go buy whatever the fuck is between the commercials. But that didn't happen. It might be because of the intro, like you said. Maybe it's it's a little too romantic for. And I mean. We can also be real here, probably because the main character was a woman.
A woman?
A woman, but she was a man the other half of the time.
I think, honestly, if this show probably would have aired 2004, probably would have done a lot better.
If this show had aired on Toonami, it would have launched. It would have skyrocketed. Fox kids are where these fucking series go to die. It should have been on Toonami. In fact, when it got canceled, they could have, it would have been perfect for Toonami.
I mean, think about it. Back then, Hot Topic was the only place to get any anime stuff.
That's true. That's very true.
I mean, you had it all. You had the Hot Topic anime right then and there for people, for all those young goth kids,
exactly,
with their baggy trip pants. And
that's true. We haven't gotten this is 2001, so 1999, 2001.
Yep,
we haven't gotten to the skinny jeans era. We're still in their trip pants era.
Yep.
I'm so, young Andrew is still in cargo shorts, maybe cargo pants.
You still got cargo shorts. What are you talking about?
I know that. I'm just saying, like, I went through no changes.
No, you didn't.
I think I was still at cargo pants because I was very self-conscious of my legs as a lad. So it's probably still cargo pants, Andrew. We don't evolve to cargo shorts till probably 2009, 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
All right, gotcha.
And I never looked back.
The history of Andrew and his cargo pants.
And his pants. Who says our podcast isn't not informative? So, a few things. I like Lucas a lot. I would have to say, he asked. So one episode kind of cracked me up. Because he wants to take Adrian to the movies because he knows about Cybersix, and he helps her on missions, but he doesn't know where she goes. He hasn't made the connection that his effeminate best friend and this leather-clad superhero might be the same person, even though really she's Clark Kent in it. It's a different hairstyle and glasses. That's her disguise, and she wears a baggy shirt with suspenders to hide her, more effeminate features. But I mean, if you're from the outside looking in, you're like, that's a woman. That's a woman in those clothes.
Yeah, it's just yep.
He asked him out to a movie, and he goes, "You want to go see a movie later today?" And it's a romantic movie, and
ooh la la.
I feel like Lucas has a little. I feel like because this ends on a cliffhanger. The comic book ends, but this ends on a cliffhanger. I feel like when Lucas found out, about Adrian and Cybersix, he found out a little about himself too. And he's like, maybe bisexuality is for me. Or maybe he was gender fluid himself. Who knows about this cartoon man?
Maybe it was like that Zach Brannigan thing you was talking about. Maybe he was just like, I got these confused feelings.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I'm going to roll with it. And then when he found out that, it was a woman, he was just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Well, Joel, I believe it's time to move to your new reoccurring segment, reviews that have a Cyber 10 and reviews that have a Cyber 1.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you. I try.
Very nice. So Andrew, this show, out of the people that watched it, it is pretty well received. It is sitting
that makes sense. I feel like this is just something like your friend told you about, and then you're like, what are you talking about? And then you watch it and you're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it is sitting at a 7.7 on IMDb out of 631 reviews or ratings.
Nice. Okay. Fantastic.
I cannot find anything below a 7.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So you're going to get a 10-star review today titled I Miss the Late 90s, Early 2000s.
Don't we all?
I know. Simpler times back then.
Other than 9/11.
Well, yeah. This is such an underrated show during a time when cartoons were not as hyped as today. This was when people watched Teletoon before the birth of Netflix and companies. If this show had aired now, it would be top popular show, I guarantee it. Cybersix is calm, cool show. When they force female protagonists, then that's when the show and characters feel overwhelming. This show has a female lead and it's cool, but bring it in likes of the MCU Captain Marvel, then that's when things don't go too well. This was a review from 2019.
There's such a strange hate for Captain Marvel, but I'm not getting into that right now. I do think it's very odd how much people don't like her, though.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean,
me neither.
People who hate it, I feel like never really read the comics.
I feel like it's a bandwagon thing, personally, but
it's got to be. But that's it.
Conservative YouTubers got to make money too, right?
Just like us.
Yeah, we don't make money. Not doing this. This is just a hobby that got way demanding.
Yeah.
But we do enjoy it. Don't get us wrong. We enjoy it, but
yeah.
It's a lot easier when nobody listened. Now we have expectations and we didn't think that was going to happen.
Got to live up to them expectations.
That's right.
Or it's going to be like mom and dad all over again.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts on Cybersix? I feel like we're at a pretty good wrapping up point.
Yeah. Actually, check it out.
I do. Yeah. I feel like we could get a good push to get this thing back because I feel like this is one show that like deserves to be brought back. And I don't say that about a lot of things, but I really do think this deserves another chance because I feel like it came out too early or it was on the wrong network. Something happened. This thing just came and went and it was there's something here. This is good stuff.
They could completely recreate it.
Absolutely.
But they could actually dive into more of the adult themes and the more the higher level of maturity that the comics had.
I agree.
I think it would be great.
I agree 100%.
Yep.
But I believe that wraps up Cybersix. If you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have a $5 tier that gives you episodes with extended audio, bonus episodes, stickers and pins mailed right to your door, and a Cartoon Dumpster Dive themed package. We have and access to our Discord. Always forget that one.
Yes.
We have a website, cartoondumpsterdive.com. There you can go to our store and buy a shirt, but more importantly, you can request a cartoon. 2 cartoons going to head-to-head in a junkyard brawl, or whatever else you would want us to do in a request format. Maybe we could wear a funny hat. You won't see it, but we'll tell you about it. We have an X handle, Cartoon DD. We are Cartoon Dumpster Dive on all other social medias. And as always, we appreciate a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice so we can start spending $360,000 per episode. Have a great rest of your week.
And see you.
Give me 1 second.
All right.
I accidentally exited out both of my browsers.
What the hell, Andrew?
I know. I might as well just hang up my fucking microphone.
That's it. Podcast's done.
Podcast's over. Shut it down.
Shut it all down. I said shut it.
This has been a Lughole podcast.